Hey, welcome to Diversity in Cinema Academy. I'm Theta Catalan, and this is the place to be if you're an indie filmmaker, video creator, or a screenwriter. So this month I am dropping 24 filmmaking tips till Christmas. So I've already talked about the idea, well, coming up with your idea, and also making sure that that idea could be a contained film, especially if you're making a ultra low budget or a micro budget film, then that's the best route to go. And if you want to get a little bit of an understanding on that, and this is your first video that you're checking in on, go ahead and check those other two out, because now that the rest of the people who have been following have already came up with an idea that is contained, then we can jump into creating the outline. So for this video series, I'm just going to give you a real quick, nitty gritty, just straight to the point way of how I create an outline. Did I even say that grammatically correct? But y'all know what I meant. Alright, so what I use is the hero's journey when I am creating my outline. And I first start off in my trusty Future Icon Leading Motion Pictures notebook that you can get on Amazon. And it is really great if you want to jot down ideas, if you want to bring it to production meetings, if you want to take it on a location scout, or whatever you need the notebook for. It is perfect for filmmakers. And it's the perfect gift for the holidays. And it's very affordable. So that's what makes it a really great gift. Now, we're going to go through this really quick because I wrote down some notes in the notebook on the hero's journey. So that's what I use when I am starting off with my outline. Now, there are a number of ways that you can outline your script. But for this video, we're going to stick with the hero's journey, and maybe in some future video, I can show you some other ways that you can actually outline your script. And a great tool to use after you put your notes in your notebook is Final Draft. You can create beats along the way, which makes it easier for you to implement into the screenwriting software when you get ready to type, because it's already there. Each beat is already there. You just need to go ahead and fill out that information at that time. So let's take it to the hero's journey. So the first one is the ordinary world, and that is when basically you are introducing us to your characters, who they are, what kind of conflicts that they're already going through. And I'm not talking about like big conflicts like what we're going to see in the comics, but what challenges they may have in life already, and that may stimulate them to go on their journey, which is the next beat that you may want to think about. And I'm not going to even say a beat, but the next point that you want to think about is the inciting incident, because this is something that is going to thrust your character into their journey. This is something that happens that gives them a goal that they want to achieve by the end of the movie. And without this, and if you place it too late, like if it's 30 minutes into the film, people are gonna be like, why am I watching this? Because they have no idea what the protagonist's goal is, right? So that is going to be the next point. Then right after that, the call to adventure. So now that they have a goal, they go out, they want to find out more about it. And then something happens, be like, you know what? I don't know if I really want to go on this journey. And that is called the refusal of the call. They like, I don't know, I'm gonna let you go and handle this. But then they meet their mentor. And that is the next point. They meet someone that gives them advice. And while they're getting this advice from the mentor, then they are going to eventually cross the threshold, because something is happening during this time when they're getting this advice from the mentor that pushes them, right? So another situation happened, like you first got that one inciting incident, but then something else happened that you'd be like, you know what, I need to just go ahead and cross this threshold and get this journey on so I can go ahead and achieve whatever goal that I am trying to achieve. So now they're fully committed to that goal. So then after crossing the threshold, then that's when they're gonna start going through different tests, which is like some challenges, and that's when you're gonna meet who are their allies that's gonna help them along the way, and then or who's their enemy. So who is the antagonist? And sometimes the antagonists don't necessarily have to be a person. Sometimes it can be what we call an antagonistic force, which can be a hurricane or a tornado, and that is their challenge, or something supernatural, and that is what they're trying to defeat. So sometimes, especially on an ultra low budget film, something supernatural we don't ever have to see. That is all in the sound design and, you know, the sound effects and music score and all that kind of stuff. So we don't ever see this supernatural thing, but we just keep getting, you know, those eerie, suspenseful, you know, feelings. So that's, again, like if you want to create something that could be suspenseful for Christmas, that can be another affordable way of doing it, and it's all through the sound design that how you can create another character that we don't even see. So then after you have went through your you figured out who your allies and your enemies, or then the next point is the approach to the inmost end cave, which is such a weird complicated, you know, phrase. But basically it's when, you know, like say for instance, if you was looking at Rocky, or even a baking competition. So if we want to stick with the, you know, the theme of Christmas, you know, with the baking competition, now we got to see all of the, like, I don't know how to bake, right? And so now I got to learn how to bake. And so now I'm making a mess, and that's a part of those tests. You know, I'm making a mess in the kitchen. The stuff keep falling, every time I put it in the oven, it falls, and all this, whatever kind of challenges people can have with baking. All of this is going on, but you are getting better. You working it out, and you keep doing it over and over and over again until you have made it to the point like, yep, I can do this. But then something happens, something big happens that, you know, even if you thought about turning back, you can't. And this is the next point, which is the point of no return. It is no way you can, you know, go back at all, right? Because something big has happened that is now an obstacle for going backwards. You have to continue to push forward. So then after that is the ordeal. This is when you're going to have a whole bunch of challenges that you have to go through in order to, you know, like maybe you have this person, whoever is your protagonist, they're throwing all kind of nonsense your way. They got their minions doing all kind of crazy stuff. Or, you know, sabotaging your stuff, whatever. You have some challenges that you have to go through during this phase. And so once you get past those challenges, you get a reward. And you think it's over. You be like, baby, look at me now. Look, I got it. But it's not the end yet. Nope, not at all. So now the road back. You going back, you think you got it, and then boom, something happens. You be like, man, I thought that we was saved. When that happens, this is the climax of the film. This is the resurrection. So say for instance, you thought you had took out and eliminated your antagonist, or whatever that antagonistic force, because you know, like sometimes, like say for instance, your antagonistic force was a tornado and it went away, but you didn't know they had a twin one spinning around coming right behind it that's even bigger and badder than the one that disappeared on you, right? And so you're like, oh my God, how am I going to make it through this, right? And so that is the resurrection, and this is the big climax, and this is when we all holding our breath like, oh my God, is she going to win the baking competition, right? So after you have defeated your antagonist, you have won the baking competition, you have survived the tornado or whatever it is, this is now the resolution. Now we can see the other side of it, how the protagonist is now living after he or she have achieved their goal. So that is a way to start outlining your script. Now I can go into further details on how to do an outline. So if you want to know more about how to create an outline, like beat by beat by beat, let me know in the comment section, and that can be a video that I can do later after I finish my 24 filmmaking tips till Christmas. So just let me know. And so now the next thing that we're going to jump into is writing the script. So I'll see you guys tomorrow and we'll discuss that. Hey, thanks for tuning in to my 24 filmmaking tips till Christmas. If you are enjoying this series, be sure to visit Diversity and Cinema Academy's website where they have a ton of resources there. If you're interested in leveling up your film business, you can check out my online course,